From the News Channel 5 Network, this is OpenLine.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to OpenLine. My name is Nick Leonardo. I'm the News Channel 5 legal analyst filling in for Amy Rao this evening. Tonight's topic is a very special topic. We normally do it on the fourth Thursday of every month, but because of Thanksgiving, it's been moved up. Tonight is the special segment called Ask a Lawyer. It's where you, the viewer, get to call in and ask the lawyer any question you may have. If it could be a criminal matter, you could have questions about a will, you could be involved in a car wreck, you could have a custody question. And tonight we are very honored and very happy to also have with us someone who's no stranger to this program, Mr. Kevin Kennedy.
Thank you, Nick, and good to be with you. It's always fun. I love it when Nick is on here with me. He brings a lot of enthusiasm and knowledge to the program and broadcasting. Thanks.
Well, Kevin, one of the things that I thought maybe we would start off talking about tonight is that when you turn on the TV nowadays, it just seems like no matter where you look, there's always an advertisement by a lawyer talking about car accidents, tractor-trailer wrecks, and call us right now, call us now, free consultation. We've all seen them. So what sets the Kennedy firm apart?
Wow. Well, you know, I have that question asked a lot of times, especially when we get a multi-million-dollar case, and, you know, this is a major decision. Do I go with you or do I go?
That's right.
And so I never will forget, a few years ago we built the largest private courtroom in the state. We call it the Court of Creativity, and we can actually try a case in our private courtroom and flush out any mistakes early on. I learned that trick from the O.J. Simpson team, and I said, wow, if it's good enough for the dream team, it's good enough for me. And what else we do with that courtroom, again, we've had over 25,000 students come in. We put on a mock trial, and our auditorium out there can hold 500.
Wow.
So we like to share. I love to empower. I love to empower students. I love to empower the public. So with that, and you know what else is interesting? One of my cohorts one time said, well, it's going to be hard to pick a jury in Montgomery County that they don't know the Kennedy Law Firm, because we've taught so many kids. We bring thousands through, and so they'll say, okay, any of y'all know this lawyer here? Any of y'all know this? And always it's someone raised it, well, I went to their Court of Creativity. So if you said, why would you hire us? Well, the real world is that's one of the things. You know, we have state-of-the-art also research, so there's no legal problem that could ever come in that we wouldn't have the ability to research it and find the answer. You put 32 years of experience in there, lots of lawyers. I remember I said there's no such thing as the perfect lawyer. He can be a great arguer, and this is a great researcher. Hey, they can never beat the team. There's great gladiator lawyers. They're tough, but they can never take the team.
Well, you know, and I think that's a great thing. I've heard that referred to sometimes as a focus group that lawyers do, and I've actually done that a couple times, and I may have to call on you to use your facility. That sounds like a great place. Well,
you know, you and I, even if a problem rises, we just need to discuss it, because what I've learned over the years too, even when I've caught myself in a serious crisis, let's discuss it. Let's talk with some lawyers. And even as we talk about it, the answers come to us. And I have literally worked on cases for 6 months, and then the hello come in moment comes in. I said, we got them. We know what to do. And so, but why didn't I think of that in the first setting? Why didn't I think of that earlier? And it's a process. Well, I wrote an article one time, and it was called Improve the Process. And so you just go over it, you improve it, like sanding a car. You make it look a little worse before it actually gets to perfection. So.
Well, folks, like I said, we're taking your phone calls. The number's there at the bottom of the screen, 737-PLUS or 737-7587. Give us a call, and you can ask Kevin any question about the law you would like. And looks like we've got some phone calls,
Well,
Kevin.
let's hit it. I like the purple tide. Somebody was commenting and said, what are y'all thinking about tonight? We think alike.
It wasn't planned.
It wasn't planned. Okay, let's hit them, Nick.
All right, I believe on line one we have Norma. Are you there, Norma?
Yes, I am.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are y'all?
We're great.
We're good.
I have a sister that lives on Social Security.
Yep.
She loves to spend her money, but she's afraid that when she dies, all of her creditors can go after her life insurance. Can they do that?
Well, first off, the life insurance policy is going to have a named beneficiary. That's one of the last vestiges that helps everyone, so it actually goes outside of the estate. So if I passed away tonight and if I'd named someone as beneficiary, that money goes to them. So if I had a whole bunch of creditors, they would not have access to that. And so I always, I don't sell life insurance. I encourage people. I'm a big proponent of insurance. I tell the viewing audience tonight, I might entertain and would encourage you to entertain an umbrella policy. It doesn't mean anything, but should you have, really, I'm all the time interested in buying some insurance. My son is a pediatric dentist. For Christmas, he says, one of the sayings my dad always said, he said, always have insurance, but don't you always rely on it. Meaning, let's protect ourselves even as we go through there, knowing that's a backup.
That's good advice. Good advice. That's a great question, Norma. Okay, let's see here on line 2. We have Philip. Are you there, Philip?
Hey, how you doing?
Great, Philip.
All right, good evening.
Hey, I got a question for you. Look here, I don't go to jail, but I got a friend that went to jail. Hey, how you doing?
Great.
But she went to jail for order protection. She got out, and then she went right back to jail and hasn't done anything wrong. What's wrong with the court system?
Okay, well, really, what can happen, anybody can be charged at any time for anything. So if you wanted to be malicious to someone, you can go down and say, well, they threatened me, I'm afraid of them, they made advances towards me, and I felt threatened, and they could get a order of protection. If it's issued out, then they say, don't come around them. Well, you go to Walmart, and here they pull in. They immediately call and said, well, there he is up there. And so then they could have you arrested on that. It's serious. So what is my best advice? I say this all the time. If someone were to make an accusation, go get a lawyer. Loose lips sink ships. You don't have to talk all these things. You can say, I'd like to talk to a lawyer, and in fact, if you don't watch out, they'll come back and then charge you criminally with some kind of harassment or some kind of stalking charge, and your words can only really be used against you. So that's kind of the words. We have a system. It is not perfect, but it is still the best system in the world, the American judicial system. And so you hear some people say, I'm going to work the system. How's best to work the system? Hire a lawyer. Don't make a lot of statements, and you talk to your lawyer privately, and then we advance. Make a plan, work the plan.
I also think it's important to point out, too, on these orders of protection, because, I don't know about your practice, but here in Davidson County, we're seeing more and more of these orders of protection.
Absolutely.
And, once an order of protection's been issued and the court says stay away from this individual, that means carrier pigeons or anything. And when that person has that order of protection, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but all they have to do is call the police and say, if I had one against you, I could say Kevin Kennedy called me or I saw him, and they're going to come immediately arrest you.
Yes, yes. And one of the things that I'm extra sensitive to, you say, okay, well, we have a child, and so I just texted her and said, what time can I pick up the child?
That's right.
Then they take that text, go straight into the district attorney or straight into the magistrate and issue a warrant. There was a no contact order. He's contacted me.
Serious business, folks, no doubt.
Take the cautious road.
That's exactly right. All right, number 4 here, I believe we got James. Are you there, James?
Yes, I am.
Go ahead, James.
Thank you very much for taking our calls tonight.
Thank you for calling.
My question is, do retirement accounts have any protection against civil claims or fines?
Yes, and one of the things you should do is talk to your financial planner. When we talk about retirement accounts, is it a 401k? Is it an IRA? Is it a Roth IRA? And many of those accounts are protected under federal law. And of course, they said that O.J. Simpson had $1 million retirement account. They got a judgment against him for wrongful death, but they couldn't get into that account. So again, if you had some money, I'll throw 2 or 3 ideas for you to brainstorm tonight. You can entertain creating a revocable trust. Put those assets in there, and they say, okay, well, I'm going to sue you. Well, guess what? There are no assets. And you say, well, golly, they live in a big home. The home was in a trust. So there's lots and lots of things that you really ought to talk to a lawyer about if you had some. So many people don't have that problem. We don't have extra houses or extra monies that we can place. But certainly if you do, or you anticipate getting some, take some steps. And if you can get it into a retirement account, that's the way I would operate.
Okay, that's great advice. Folks, if you'll stay tuned, we'll be right back after these messages. The phone number's at the bottom of the screen. We're taking your calls at 737-PLUS, 737-7587. We'll be right back.